What if Marvel's biggest secret wasn't leaked by a scooper, but by a hacker holding the MCU hostage? For months, rumors have been circulating about a mysterious Russian hacker who allegedly got access to unreleased Marvel footage. At first, it sounded ridiculous. Then things got serious, because now, an unfinished Avengers Doomsday scene has surfaced online in HD quality. And suddenly, this story doesn't sound so crazy anymore. The real question is this footage actually real, or has AI become so powerful that nobody can tell the difference anymore? Let's break down everything. According to multiple reports, the hacker supposedly gained access to several pieces of unreleased Marvel content, not just Avengers Doomsday footage. We're talking about trailer clips, production material, and nearly 70 leaked images connected to the film. Some reports even claimed money was being demanded in exchange for keeping the material private. At first, most fans dismissed the story. Then the footage appeared. And that's where things got interesting, because unlike most fake leaks, this one wasn't blurry phone camera garbage. It was clean, detailed, and surprisingly convincing. The CGI isn't finished. Visual effects are incomplete. Several character models still look rough, but that's exactly what makes it feel authentic. This looks less like a finished movie scene and more like something pulled directly from Marvel's post-production pipeline. What's even more interesting is where the leak may have come from. I don't think Marvel itself got hacked. That seems unlikely. Major studios rarely keep all visual effects work under one roof. Large sections of VFX production are outsourced to external companies. Trailer footage is often sent to multiple teams long before a movie is finished, which means if someone gained access to one of those smaller vendors, they wouldn't need Marvel's servers at all. They'd already have enough material to cause chaos, and we've actually seen similar situations before. Footage connected to Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Brand New Day surfaced early during production as well, so the idea isn't impossible. Now let's talk about what was actually shown, and, surprisingly, nothing here feels like a massive spoiler. In fact, most of the characters visible in the leaked footage have already been officially revealed or heavily rumored. That's why I have a theory. This might not be movie footage at all. It could actually be material prepared for an upcoming trailer. Think about it. Marvel always includes one giant cinematic team shot in Avengers marketing, a moment where fans can finally see everyone standing together before the battle begins. And that's exactly what this leak looks like, a giant hero lineup. Nothing more, nothing less. One thing immediately stood out to me though, Steve Rogers, because everyone else looks fairly close to what we expected, but Steve looks weirdly normal. No flashy redesign, no dramatic new costume, just a simple outfit that almost feels unfinished, which makes me wonder if Marvel is hiding something. Maybe additional VFX elements haven't been added yet, or maybe they're intentionally keeping his true role secret. Either way, Steve Rogers feels like the biggest mystery in the entire shot. Another major reveal appears to be Nightcrawler, specifically his white hair. That's new. And honestly, it looks fantastic. Maybe Marvel is presenting an older version of the character. Maybe something happened between universes, or maybe it's simply a design choice. But out of everyone shown, Nightcrawler is the one character who immediately grabbed my attention. The rest of the team feels exactly like what fans have been expecting. Avengers, XMen, all standing together, preparing for war. And based on everything we've seen so far, that war appears to involve Sentinels, massive Sentinels, not just giant robots. We're talking skyscraper-sized monsters dominating entire city blocks. If you've seen earlier X-Men teaser footage, you've probably noticed the enormous Sentinel footprints in the background. Those weren't random details, they were warnings. And I think this leaked battle is connected directly to that same conflict. Even more interesting, Cyclops appears to be at the center of everything. And if previous rumors are accurate, this could be his story. Not Wolverine's, not Deadpool's, Cyclops. We've already seen footage suggesting an emotional breakdown from him later in the movie. And if that's true, then something catastrophic happens during this Sentinel war. Something personal, something devastating, because the expression on Cyclops' face doesn't look like anger, it looks like grief. And that's a terrifying difference. Now here's where things get really interesting, because the leaked footage isn't just showing heroes, it's showing the possible future of Dr. Doom's empire. And if these leaks are accurate, Doom may have already won. Let's talk about those Sentinels. Because according to several older leak reports, Doom wasn't planning to build a traditional army. Instead, he would repurpose Sentinels as his own version of Doom bots. At first, that sounded insane. Now it suddenly makes sense. Think about it. Sentinels are already designed to adapt to superhuman threats. They evolve, they learn, they counter powers. If Doom gained control of an entire Sentinel network, he'd basically possess the perfect army. An army capable of fighting Avengers, X-Men, mutants, and almost anyone else in the Marvel Universe. And judging by this leaked battlefield, that's exactly what may have happened. The Sentinels aren't defending a city, they're defending Doom. Speaking of Doom, his appearance is exactly what many insiders described months ago. Dark, intimidating, completely masked. And that's important, because one of the biggest questions surrounding this movie has always been, when will we see Robert Downey Jr.'s face? After all, Marvel didn't bring back RDJ just to hide him forever, right? Apparently, maybe they did, at least for now. Because in the leaked footage, Doom never removes the mask, not once. And what's even stranger is nobody seems shocked by his presence. No one is looking at him like, "Tony, is that you?" That reaction is completely absent, which supports a growing theory. Marvel may be saving the face reveal for the final act, the moment when the audience and the heroes discover the truth at the same time. And if that's the plan, it's a smart one. Another detail that caught my attention is Doom's voice. People who allegedly attended early test screenings have hinted that RDJ isn't using anything close to Tony Stark's voice. Instead, they're describing a completely different accent. Darker, heavier, possibly European, maybe even German-inspired. Whatever Marvel is doing, they're clearly trying to separate Doom from Tony Stark as much as possible. Now let's talk about the team standing against him, because this lineup raises a lot of questions. The X-Men being there makes perfect sense. This appears to be their world, their battlefield, their war, but how did the Avengers get involved? That's where things become complicated. We can understand Sam Wilson showing up. He's Captain America. We can understand Shang-Chi joining the fight. But Steve Rogers and Reed Richards, that's where things get weird, especially Reed, because recent rumors suggested the Fantastic Four won't stay together for long. In fact, some leaks claim Doom kidnaps Sue Storm and Franklin Richards early in the story, leaving Reed desperate alone and willing to work with anyone who can help him stop Doom. If that's true, then Reed joining the Avengers and X-Men isn't random. It's personal. A father trying to save his family. And honestly, that motivation might be stronger than anything else in the movie. But Steve Rogers is the bigger mystery. For months, many fans believed Marvel would turn him into some variation of Captain Hydra, or perhaps place him on Doom's side. This leak seems to suggest the opposite. He's standing with the heroes, not against them. But that doesn't mean the story is simple, because we still don't know how Steve even arrived in this universe. And there are some fascinating possibilities. One theory connects directly to Fantastic Four. Remember those rumors suggesting Steve Rogers has been living peacefully in an alternate reality, possibly even within the Fantastic Four universe itself? There were scenes from previous footage showing an older Steve-like figure alongside family members. Some fans believe Marvel has quietly been building toward that reveal for months. If that's true, then Steve may have spent years living a completely different life before being pulled back into the war, and that would explain why Reed Richards already knows him. Another huge topic is Sadie Sink, because despite all the speculation, her role still hasn't been confirmed. But one possibility refuses to die: Rachel Summers, Cyclops' daughter. And honestly, the evidence keeps growing. Rachel shares many similarities with Jean Grey: telepathy, telekinesis, immense mutant power. In some stories, she's even considered capable of rivaling Jean herself. And visually, Sadie Sink absolutely fits the profile. If Marvel introduces Rachel Summers here, it would explain why Cyclops seems emotionally central to the story. This battle may not only be about survival, it could be about family, and that brings us back to the footage itself. The unfinished CGI actually makes this leak more believable. The character models, the facial animations, the rough effects work. Everything looks exactly like something still being completed, especially Beast, whose visual effects clearly aren't finished yet. Nothing feels polished enough to be fan-made, but nothing is polished enough to be theatrical either. It's stuck somewhere in the middle, which is exactly where a real production leak would be. The good news, I don't think this leak ruins the movie, not even close, because it doesn't reveal major twists. It doesn't explain character motivations. It doesn't show the ending. It's basically a giant team shot and a battle setup. That's it. The real secrets are still hidden, for now. Which leads to one final question: how does Marvel respond? Because if more footage exists, and reports suggest it does, then Marvel has two choices: stay silent or beat the leakers to the punch. Personally, I think the smartest move is obvious. Release the trailer soon, maybe even within days. Take control of the narrative before the hackers do, because once the internet starts leaking pieces of your biggest movie, waiting becomes dangerous. So what do you think? Is this footage real? Are Doom's Sentinels truly the MCU's next great threat? Who is Sadie Sink actually playing? And most importantly, what happens to Cyclops that leaves him looking completely broken? Drop your theories below, because if these leaks are only the beginning, the road to Avengers Doomsday is about to get a lot crazier.